Today we're talking about all things money, moolah, dinero. Yeah, that's all I've got. About a month ago on this channel, I posted a video where I talked about how I manage my money, how I budget, kind of gave a general overview on all of that. So if you haven't already watched it, definitely start there and check out the link in the description box below. In that video, I shared just a few spending tips for how to save money, how to stay on budget. And there was a lot of curiosity about that and a desire for more. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm sharing some spending tips, how to get more bang for your buck, things that can really help you stay on budget, because I know that's something that everyone, including myself, can sometimes struggle with. Again, I am not a money pro. I'm just a human learning as I go. And I thought I'd share some of the things that help me, because maybe they'll help you. That's all this is. We're humans helping humans. I've got quite a list to go through, and how I've organized this video is I've just kind of divvied everything up by main categories of spending, and we're just gonna deep dive into each of them. Why do I always do weird things with my hands on camera? I don't get it. So make sure you have a snack, a beverage, coffee, tea, you know, whatever floats your boat. One that you made at home, because hey yo, making a beverage at home is cheaper than buying one at a coffee shop. I'm already hitting you with some revolutionary insights. You're welcome. I think the first category we're gonna start with is groceries. Groceries is a category of spending that, because it happens all the time, because you are, I'm assuming, a human watching this, so you need to eat and consume food. That results in frequent buying of food. In the moment, sometimes like just saving a few dollars here and there, it doesn't seem like it will mean much, but over time, those dollars add up. If you can be smart at the grocery store, I think there can be a lot of potential for long-term savings. The first tip that I have for you when it comes to grocery shopping is maybe a little bit obvious, but one I think we have to take a second to talk about, and that's meal planning and meal prepping. Meal planning happens before you go to the grocery store. Meal prepping happens after you get back. Meal planning is great because I know in Toronto, at least in downtown Toronto, the options for grocery stores are limited, and all of them are very expensive. So I always try and buy things when they're on sale, because I think after living here for now, in September it'll be 5 years, I do realize like what things go on sale and what's a good price and what's not. And that's another tip, is to intentionally shop at the grocery store, pay attention to prices, because you only learn what's a good deal and what's not a good deal when you are, you know, aware of the prices of things that you're paying for. Was that a sentence that made sense? The prices, when you understand the prices of things you're paying for. Yeah, okay, that works. But if I'm going to be going in with the strategy of buying things when they're on sale, especially when it comes to veggies and produce, I don't want to buy those things and just like think, hey, yeah, I could use that somehow, because often, I hate to say it, but that will usually result in me forgetting that's even in my fridge, and it will go to waste, which is something I don't want to do, and I try, especially now, to be very aware of that. If you're meal planning before you even get to the grocery store, you're looking at the flyer, whether it's in person or online, seeing what's on sale and coming up with dishes to fit those on sale items, then that's going to be where you get the real benefit of buying things on special, because not only are you saving money, but you're using that item to its fullest capacity. Making a list ahead of time also will hopefully curb you from adding things to your cart that you really don't need. Going grocery shopping once you've already eaten is also a good idea, because then you won't be filling up your cart with stuff just because you're hangry. And then when you come back from the grocery store, it's good the day of, or you know, a day after, pretty soon after you grocery shop, to spend time meal prepping those dishes that you came up with. I think that can be really great too, because it means that you're going to use those ingredients right away, make use of them, and you're going to be more likely to eat those meals if they're in the fridge than opt for other things like eating out. I know I touched on the point of food waste, but just to kind of tackle it more, if you do find that you are throwing out more food than you would like, because obviously food waste is just not only bad for your wallet, but it's also a waste of resources. So I do think it's important to limit that, but consider freezing things. Your freezer, it can become your best friend. It's become my best friend. I buy things like traditionally already frozen, fruit for smoothies or corn and broccoli. I buy frozen onion even now. Another grocery spending tip is to buy non-perishables in bulk. That can be cans of beans, grains, pasta sauces, the list. It goes on. I also buy like toilet paper and paper towels and household stuff in bulk. I tend to do like 1 to 2 big trips to Costco for this because you can get really good prices there. But you can also just be more mindful too when you're doing your weekly shop. If something like beans are on for a really good price, buy more beans than you need for just the week. Buy it for a few weeks in advance and really take advantage of those savings. If you live in a very expensive city like me in Toronto, something that I actually just did the other week, I talked about on Instagram, was I was looking at grocery delivery services in the city. And one of them actually was allowing me to order from Walmart. And where I'm situated in the city, shopping from Walmart is just a little too out there for me to regularly do that. That's unfortunate because Walmart is going to be a lot cheaper than some of the grocery stores right downtown. So I ended up putting an order in at Walmart through the delivery service. And even with service fees and delivery charges, it's still like I still got so much more than I would for the same amount like buying from my local grocery stores. So that was crazy and something I'm going to be exploring more of. So I would definitely encourage you to do the same if you are in a situation where you don't have many cost-friendly options available to you. Sometimes those services can really come in handy. Let's talk loyalty programs. There are some that are better than others, and there is also a smart and a not smart way to use them. Loyalty programs are designed to make you spend more money, but if you are using them intentionally, I think they do usually give you some benefit, and there's a way to maximize the benefit of them. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. I'm part of quite a few loyalty programs. I'm part of Optimum, Shoppers Drug Mart Optimum Points, or I guess it's PC Optimum Points now. I'm part of Air Miles, Plum Plus, the Indigo one, a lot of coffee chain related ones, Sephora, I don't know, the list goes on. With all of them, I try and shop with intention, and I think at the end of the day, like that is shopping with intention is a huge way to make sure that you are not making purchase decisions that you're going to regret, to put it kindly. Let's tackle PC Optimum. So I love using PC Optimum at Shoppers in particular. And Shoppers, for those of you who don't know, is a drugstore chain in Canada. It's one of the most popular ones. But it can be more pricey. Like you can find things that are way more expensive there than say at options like Walmart. But as I mentioned, Walmarts aren't easily accessible in a city. Shoppers locations are everywhere, so it's very convenient to use them. So when I do go to Shoppers, I try and get the most value from this loyalty program as possible. I try to always buy things when they are on sale. I try to go shopping when I know they have like 20 times the point events. Once I've accumulated points, I like to try and wait to spend them until one of their bonus point spending weekends, where they'll give you more money for your points than on a regular day. And I actually have found that with Optimum, it isn't too hard to acquire points and get some decent savings. Like right now, I think my account is at $20. Look, and they currently have a 20 times the point event going on. Air Miles too is one I have fun with. It's not as easy to gain points in Air Miles, at least in my experience with what I purchase. But I have found that in the past year, I've been more aware of looking for other bonus offers to load onto my Air Miles card. Sometimes like the retailers that they are associated with will give you special offers on their sites, and if you load them onto your card, you get more points, and that I have found has actually had a lot of impact on my ability to grow that amount. Like my Air Miles right now I'm very proud of this. I collect cash miles because I cannot be bothered with Dream Miles. Mine is at $60. Like I can redeem it for $60. $60 is significant. That's groceries, that's stocking up on like things that I need around the house, the apartment. $60 is a great time. While editing this video, I realized I completely forgot to talk about web extensions that can save you a ton of money. There are some extensions you can download to your web browser that will give you cash back from tons of retailers. The percentages usually aren't super high, but if you're gonna make a purchase, then you might as well get something from it. So the cashback programs are always a lot of fun, and the money does add up. There are also some that will scan the internet for coupons for you. I've gotten quite a few unexpected savings from using tools like that. I'll have links to some of my favorites in the description box below. Highly recommend checking those out. Spending money on things that would fall under entertainment is obviously where I think a lot of people would say, hey, cut these things out, and then that money you can save and life is good again. But unless like you are in a situation where you're struggling like to pay rent and pay for food, I don't think you have to completely eliminate this category from your budget. There are a lot of ways that you can still go out and have fun while being budget friendly. One of the biggest tips is to take time, like I know this sounds silly, but take time to research your city and town and really explore like what things are happening in your area. Obviously, I'm in a city, a very bustling city. There's always things happening, and they're happening at very different price points. But no matter where you are in the world, I'm sure locally there are some things happening, and unless you're looking out for them and seeing what's going on, you'll miss out on them. Groupon is a really great tool to use as well. It will give you deals that are happening in your area. I've used it a few times. The one that comes to mind is a helicopter tour that I took with 2 other friends. I would have never done this at the regular price, but because of the deal on Groupon, we went, and it was such a great experience. I got some beautiful footage of the Toronto skyline. It's my first time being on a helicopter. Got a little photo moment. It was cute. When it comes to going out to the movies, investigate whether there is a night or a day of the week where ticket prices are cheaper. For me, where I am at, Tuesdays are that day, Cheap Tuesday. If you like musicals, there are certain shows that offer rush tickets. So that would mean like the day of, you're able to score some tickets for a really good deal. Obviously, you're not able to like do as much future planning for that. So that isn't always the most convenient for someone who isn't close to a theater. But there are also promos happening frequently. I just went to go see Come From Away, and I think I got my tickets with my friend Maddie at like 50% off. There was like a 50% off special, so we took advantage and we got some really great seats. Great musical, by the way. Highly recommend that one. As you guys know, I'm a big reader, and unfortunately books can be pricey, but an app that I discovered that is one of the best things, one of the best apps ever for any bookworm out there, is Libby by Overdrive. I actually partnered with Libby back in December for like a little Instagram promo thing, sponsorship. I'm talking about it now because I just think it's an incredible app. But basically, it's a free app. You download it and you connect your library card, and then it will allow you to take out ebooks from your local library. So I have my Toronto Public Library card connected, and if I see a book on there that I want to read, I can just read it and not pay anything. And it's a beautiful thing. There's no late fees because it just will automatically return the book. Is that not like the most amazing thing you've ever heard in the world? There's also audiobooks and magazines on there. I've used it even to like get the audiobook for free of a book that I have in physical copy, so I can read it physically and then also listen to it. If you're someone who likes to go clubbing, that's a dance move that would do well at a club. Or bars, or I should say, if you're going out for a night that you intend to have a good alcoholic time with, I would recommend not to spend that money at the club or bar, and instead to spend it on liquor that you can consume in your own home. Free drinking can not only be a lot of fun, but it can be a lot of fun for your wallet. Speaking of going out to bars and clubs, let's talk about eating out. Eating out is also something that can be pricey for a variety of reasons. Either you're doing it too much, and in that case, like, obviously limit that, but it can also be pricey if you're not making smart decisions at the restaurant. I talked about in my previous video how one of the things that I never buy when I go out to eat, I don't want to say never, I rarely buy, is an alcoholic beverage, or really any beverage. I usually always opt for water, because cocktails or glasses of wine can be really expensive when you're going out to eat. If I do drink, it's usually only during the summer, if there's like a sangria special, or there's like a wine Wednesday happening, that sort of thing, where you're getting a little bit of a deal. Other things I do is I 98% of the time don't buy apps and don't buy dessert, and if I do any of those things, it's usually splitting like an appetizer with a friend or splitting a dessert with a friend. I also follow a lot of restaurants in my area on Instagram, because not only do I like looking at beautiful photos of food, but this is where those restaurants usually share like special promos that they're having. Maybe they're having a fun event too, so that can keep you in the know of maybe like a good time to go to a specific place that you've been meaning to try. I mentioned this in the last video, but again, I want to reiterate that dinner parties at home, whether it's your own home or someone else's home, is a great way to get together with people without having to, spend money at a restaurant. You can do taco nights, pizza nights, ice cream sundae night, add on a game or a movie night situation to it, and you've got a fun time without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation right there. The last category of spending I'm going to talk about today is subscriptions. I feel like we live in the age of subscriptions, and honestly these amounts, $2.99, $3.99, $6.99 a month, on their own really aren't much, but the accumulation of them over the course of a year or just the accumulation of them all together can be quite big. I would just encourage you as like a reminder to, if you haven't already, take a moment today or in the next few days to look at what you are subscribed to and cancel things that you're not using. The beauty of subscriptions is even if you cancel something, you can start paying for it again if you change your mind or if your interests change. Not a binding thing, but it financially sometimes doesn't make sense to just keep paying for them for the sake of paying for them if you're not really getting use out of them. That, I think, is all the things I wanted to tackle today. If you have a spending hack that I didn't mention that you'd like to share, please do it in the comment section down below. Not only am I interested, but I'm sure a lot of other people are interested in seeing other tips that people have. Like this video, if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. I would also love to know if you want to see more money videos, what money videos would you want to see? And I will see you all very soon with a new video. Until then, bye everyone.